My name is Waiyaki-Maina. I head sustainability and citizenship at Absa Bank Kenya. Absa Bank Kenya is a financial institution, so mainly in the business of lending. We have been signatories to the UN Global Compact since October 2019. Global Compact Kenya recognized me as an SDG pioneer for investing in stakeholder empowerment in the year 2020-2021. Personally, as an individual, I believe in living in a just community, and I believe in ensuring there is equality and equity. And the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact really speak to that when you look at human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption. It really looks at ensuring that we're taking care of everyone from the very top to the very bottom. And therefore, for me, that's why the 10 principles really resonate with me and resonate with what we stand for as an organization. I think SDG 17 is really important, first in being able to drive the Sustainable Development Agenda, because the agenda really cuts across different sectors, different platforms, different people. And therefore, I think it's quite important for government, businesses, civil society, all the players to come together. And without that partnership, then it becomes really hard to accelerate the Sustainable Development Agenda, and also just being able to bring in the different partners to enable them play each their part. To ensure that the organization, both internally and externally, become a force for good, there are quite a number of initiatives that I have been rallying within the bank to ensure that we leave no one behind. Internally, one of the main ones is to bridge the education gap. Training colleagues within the organization was one of the topmost priorities, and I'm happy to say we have about 1,600 colleagues who have undertaken the training. That helps colleagues to understand the different frameworks, those that we have signed up to, those that exist, and they are able to get their footing on how they plug in into the Sustainable Development Agenda in their day-to-day activities in the workplace. When we look at it from an external perspective, signing up to things like the UN Global Compact, where environment is a big pillar, adopting the concepts such as circularity, where you recycle or repurpose or reuse the waste that you generate. So we had a great opportunity to work with SMEs to recycle the plastic waste, to recycle the steel waste. But my all-time favorite is the initiative where we're recycling the e-waste. And this has enabled us to be able to set up computer labs across 66 institutions. And so that has enabled people to understand that waste can be converted into something more useful. And there's a big opportunity for startups or SMEs to look at that as a business opportunity. Looking at the supply chain, we started off a journey of training all our suppliers. We partnered with an academic institution, and we rolled out a training which covers the different concepts and frameworks, and how the organizations, the SMEs mainly, can be able to speak about the work that they are doing and how they can be able to even further work down their supply chains. And so there's a lot of work that we have to do to kind of expound on why Sustainable Development Agenda is important, how it affects them as a business, and what competitive edge it gives them. Some of the challenges and opportunities that I experienced as I championed this agenda at ABSA: getting colleagues to understand the wide frame of sustainability frameworks or policies has been one of the biggest challenges, I must say, because it's quite diverse, and therefore you need to get people to understand from the context of where they sit and not the whole entire sustainability agenda, because then it can be very overwhelming. So I think that challenge of getting to speak to people in their language, get to understand how they plug in based on their day-to-day activities, has been an uphill task. But the positive side is, once colleagues get to understand it, then it becomes very easy, because they are able to see the opportunities as they go about their day-to-day activities. I think the opportunities have been immense, because looking at how we drive financial inclusivity, how we drive economic growth, those are some of the areas we are now starting to get into, and understanding that the startups we support today will be the big corporates of the years to come. Looking forward in terms of partnerships and how we leverage on those to drive our strategy, there are organizations or institutions which have already created either frameworks that we can use and other innovations that we can tap into. We ensure that how we grow as an organization is really anchored on the Sustainable Development Agenda, but then also drives economic growth without leaving out the people and planet. So just making sure that the triple bottom line is really achieved in the day-to-day activities. I would like to encourage all organizations to take part in the SDG Pioneer Initiative, mainly because sometimes we forget to celebrate the little wins that we have. And as I mentioned, sustainability is a long-term play. And therefore, the little milestones we make each and every day, we have to learn to celebrate them, even as we get to the bigger milestones.